morning, YouTube. Today is going to be a customization day. I'm going to do a couple little things to the car this morning, a couple interesting things, and a slight tutorial because I haven't seen a video on how to do some of the things I'm going to do today, but I do know how to do it. So I'm going to show you how to do it in case you decide you want to do it one day. Now, one thing I am not so sure of is a part of this steering wheel. I'm not sure how to get the electrical connectors off of the airbag, so I'm actually going to go to a junkyard right now and do it on one of their cars as a dummy car or a guinea pig, just to make sure I do it right, because the last thing I need is to hook everything back up in my own car and boom, the airbags go. So I'm going to do that as a safety precaution. All right, so I just got to the junkyard, so we can go ahead and see how we take this airbag off. This much I can tell you. You do need this part. It's an airbag release tool, part number 55150. I got it off eBay for about, I think, $20. I do know how to use this, so I'm going to show you how to use it once we get in there. And yeah, all right. So the first thing we want to do is disconnect the battery. You're messing with the airbag, so definitely don't want any power to be going to your battery while doing this. So they say disconnect the negative battery terminal. I always like to disconnect both, personal preference. All right, so I am here at the junkyard, of course, with all these cars. This is an 07 Pontiac Grand Prix, but this procedure will follow for 04 through 08. I believe you may also be able to do this for the previous generation, which is, I think, 97 to 03, but I'm not sure. But I'm going to show you how to use these airbag removal tools and get started. So what you want to do is turn the steering wheel about 90 degrees or so, and we're going to be using this hole here and this hole here. Now there's a clip in here, so or not even a clip, so you just want to stick that in the two holes there and then pull up, and then the air, once you pull up, let's see if I can do it. There we go. So now you want to rotate it the other way. All right, maybe this, we need to do this side. Yeah, this side. So try this again. Mark the two holes. There we go. All right, so I have the airbag out now. So what's happening is 1, 2, 3, and 4 are snapped into here. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And what you're doing with this tool is bringing it back here. And these little things go in this hole here. Let's see if I can find it. And they pull this pin over. I'm not sure if you can even see it here. And they move it over like that. And that locks in this groove right there. So when you pull it over, it releases it like that. Let's see, you can't get it. Just like that. So that's what's happening here. So that part was self-explanatory to me. The part that I'm not so familiar with is this right here, getting these clips out. So this right here is obvious. You just use a flathead to get that out. And then, well, it's a junkyard car, so we can just leave that. But this here, I'm not so sure about. So let's see. Maybe, I don't know, a flathead maybe? I've been told to use the flathead for this. Okay, so I see how it connects, I think. So if you just didn't see what happened here, I just pried away at it. This came out like that, and then we just squeeze that, then it falls out. So that's how you do it. So I'm actually gonna do that one more time for you. Hold the camera still somewhere else. All right, so I put the little clip back in. I cut it because, again, this is a junkyard car. I put it back in to show you better how to do it. So what's gonna happen here, I think I may want to use a smaller flathead, but You just stick this in right here, and this comes out. Can't get it. Maybe if I use these pliers, or you know what, better yet, you just get it right up under there like that, up under there, and then it comes out. Maybe if I grab it both sides, there we go. So you see that just came out like that. This comes out, and then you just squeeze the little gray thing on both sides, and then it comes out. So I'm gonna go ahead and go back to the garage and show you how to do this on my car. And we're gonna leave this here because it's a junk car. All right, so I have my airbag removed now in the passenger seat. This little wire here came from here. So I would advise you, make sure you pull it off from here first, or take this bolt off, because I now have to go through extra work to put it back. But yeah, so I'm gonna use an impact gun to get this off. So and that's off. Now, if you notice, there's a little gap between the teeth right there in the middle where the arrow points down. So we want to make sure that when we put this steering wheel back, it goes right there. Another thing you may want to do is to straighten your steering wheel out as straight as possible, so that when you do put it back, there's no alignment issues. Other thing you want to do before we completely remove the steering wheel is disconnect these electrical connectors, because they will go through this hole right here. So let's see. Probably gonna need 2 hands to get it out. This is pretty stiff. Yeah, I'm gonna need 2 hands, so I'll just come back when I have them out. So yeah, you definitely want to go with a puller. I actually damaged my nut, hit it with the hammer. It came off, it's loose, but it's definitely the wrong way. So I'm actually not gonna use this nut. I'm gonna go to the junkyard and get another one. But so yeah, let me get that off. That's no bueno. Luckily, the nut is the same for all of them. By the way, that nut is a 21mm, if I didn't tell you. So, yeah. All right, people, so after having my steering wheel off for some time and fighting with it and being scared, I took the clock spring out, did a whole lot of stuff because this wire had come out. Come to find out, it just clips, or not even clips in, like this little tab here at the end, the white tab that you see. It just goes in like this and then turns this way to lock into place. So all the time I thought I broke this off, it was just simply just like that. So now I'm not worried anymore. Now back to the steering wheel swap. So now we have to take the back of the steering wheel off and switch it over to the new one, and our tap shift controls and stuff like that. So the back of it here, and the tap shift paddles, and our cruise control here. So that's very simple to do. I know these things come off with screws back here, so I'm gonna get started with that. So these 3 screws here, 1, 2, and 3 are T25 star bits. So I'm gonna use the drill to go ahead and get these out. Wow. I put this thing in backwards, not smart. So after taking this whole thing off, you have to now disconnect this electrical harness from steering wheel controls. I just had a flathead. You use a flathead screwdriver right here. There we go. But then swap it over to the new steering wheel. So I have swapped everything back over to the new steering wheel. One thing to note, the the 2 screws here and here for the cruise control are already inserted. So we'll have to take those out first and put this back on. But other than that, we're ready to go back in the car. Okay, so I'm back in the car with the steering wheel. Now we just have to feed all of our wires back through the wheel. So this red cable here will go through here, and everything else, these 3 things, go through here. So I'm not gonna be able to hold the phone and do it at the same time, so I'll set it down. All right, so after feeding everything through, this airbag thing popped out again, but I'm gonna put it back in afterwards. Now you wanna basically line your teeth up with that notch I was telling you about there, and then I'll show you that what's next afterwards. All right, so I have it lined back up on there in that groove I was telling you about right there in the middle. And also have my new nut from the junkyard, so I'm gonna go ahead and hand thread it on. Make sure you don't cross thread it. Oh yeah, that's going on nice. And then I'm gonna tighten it down with the impact, and that's gonna press it back on where it should be. So I have now tied it back down with the impact gun and got it all lined up. So the next thing to do is to put this, I'm thinking this is a ground wire or some type of kill switch thing, or I'm not sure, but we have to put this back in the airbag right here. It was this nut in the upper right corner. That is a 8mm. And we also had to put the electrical connection back in. And this right here we can actually put in now. Didn't even think about it. So that's all set. And I actually think I want to carbon fiber wrap this, and this, the way I have it here. So I'll actually think about that, and then I guess you'll see whatever I choose to do after I come back. All right, so I have the 2 electrical connectors and this 1 red cable plugged back in. And now our last step is pretty self-explanatory. We want to put these 4 fingers back into these 4 holes, and then after that, we are finished. And I have snapped it back in place, and now it is complete. Now, being that this is my first time doing this, I'm actually quite a little nervous to plug the battery back up, but I've read a lot of things about how to do things like this, so I'm pretty confident that what I did was okay. So I'm gonna go ahead and reconnect the battery and start the car, and we'll see how this goes. Here's the ultimate test. Wow, we have an airbag light. That's because we disconnected. Well, we'll plug it up and see what it says.